time. Before I made this video, I say and said, let me go look and see all these people who got super critical thoughts on this Meg song. What was the last other female rapper that you actually bigged up? Like, what's the project? What's the song that you broke down and gave your takes and opinions? And most of them, it ain't none. It's just a hot topic to sit here and say, hey, let's pow and let's critique and sit here and say how bad this Meg the Stallion song is. And that to me just don't make no sense because it don't make your opinion valid because you ain't gave no real good hip hop takes on anything else. Like, let's go into the male space because I understand it can go a little bit from the beef where it's like, oh, Nicki has got a bigger fan base, so her fans gonna always dislike Meg because they had it back and forth. That's almost just like the Drake and Kendrick thing or Lil Baby and Gunna. It happens in hip hop. I understand that. I'm not going to be delusional to that space, but guess what? If you go to a Drake, if you go to anybody giving a critique on Drake or Kendrick Lamar or Lil Baby or Gunna, 9 times out of 10, they gave you critiques on other rappers. This ain't their first time. Your first take ain't gonna be Kendrick versus Drake or Gunna versus Lil Baby or Young Thug. Any of that. 9 times out of 10, when you talking about men and they infatuation with hip hop and breaking down lyrics, they're gonna always have an opinion on what they're listening to. It's not gonna be just one song. So for me, it's like, hey, have you talked about YK Niece? Or have you talked about Pluto? Have you talked about Coil Ray? Or matter of fact, if you want some real substance, have you talked about again Mona Leo? Her project is literally full of substance. I'm supposed to get so many different talking points. Or have you ever talked about rap singing? Or today, you talking about verses with literally last night. Mia X literally carried a versus stage full of all men. She was the only woman on stage, had the best voice control, knew her words word for Master P was on that joint. And she was just going through her verses. I haven't seen you do it. I haven't seen you big them up. And that's my point where it's just like this Meg the Stallion takes ain't real takes. These ain't real hip hop takes. This is just your hate for Meg the Stallion or your love for other rappers. Like, oh, I love Tory Lanez and she got Tory locked up, so I'm going to ride and I'm going to always say her songs are trash. Oh, I love Nicki Minaj, so I'm going to sit here and say everything Meg put out is bad. Let's be clear. Can you critique this Meg the Stallion song? Of course. Because I could tell you right now, maybe Meg should have made this song a little bit shorter because I feel like the first 2 verses were solid. The first verse was excellent. You kind of could have went first verse, hook again, maybe gave it like another 4 bars from the second verse and came back in with the hook and left it alone. Cool. I felt like you kind of made it a little bit too long for some still a very new relationship. Because I'm realistically, a new relationship that's not 2 or 3 years long, it's hard to sit here and make a 4 minute song about. Because it's like it ain't gonna be unless you go super in detail into your relationship, which I feel like is still a hard space for you to do, which is cool. Just shorten the song a little bit. But for sit here for people to over critique it, like, bro, we grown. What do you think a grown adult relationship is consistent of? Hunching gonna matter. You better talk about some hunching and you better talk about how good you hunching me. Because if you not, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat. That's the real world. And that's the part that blows my brain when y'all talk about music. But again, before I go, that's the reason why women don't have a real voice in hip hop. And when I say that, I don't